Hello, dear English learners. I am Mr. Sall, and I am very happy to present to you today's lesson. So, our today's lesson is how to pronounce word ending in S, meaning the third person of the present simple ending the S. He, she, it. For example, the verb touch. He touches. The verb help. He helps. The verb cut. She cuts. So it is very important to know how to pronounce these, because a mispronunciation can lead to misunderstanding. So let's tackle our today's lesson. I hope you'll enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe, to like the video, and also to share it. So there are three ways of pronouncing the S ending. The first one is, we can pronounce it as is. For example, watch, watches, wash, washes, teach, teaches, miss, misses, lose, loses. Another pronunciation of the S ending is S, the sound S. Example, like, likes, get, gets, make, makes, bake, bakes, hope, hopes, put, puts, sleep, sleeps. And the last pronunciation of the S ending is Z, sound Z. Example, go, goes, do, does, try, tries, live, lives, love, loves, call, calls, read, reads, run, runs. So at this level, it is very important to know that there are three ways of pronouncing the S at the end of a word in English. So the pronunciation of words ending in depends on the final consonant. Depends on the final consonant sound. For words that end with C, S, X, Z, double S, CH, SH, GE, the sound is. The S is pronounced as is. It is a sibilant, okay, which is a hissing or buzzing sound, okay, buzzing sound. And for words that end with S, for the pronunciation of S, we have words that end with P, K, T, F, GH, and PH. Example, sleeps, books, hats, cliffs, laughs, graphs. So these are voiceless sounds, meaning the vocal cords do not vibrate. The vocal cords do not vibrate. And finally, for words that end with B, D, G, L, M, N, NG, R, and G, and V, the ES is pronounced as the. Example, crabs, dreams, okay, wears. This Z word is voiced. It is voiced. A voiced word is one that uses the vocal cords and they produce a vibration or humming sound in the throat. Okay, so let's have a summary of what we have said for this third person singular pronunciation of the simple present with the ending of s. So we have three ways. The first way is sir, and the second is and the third is. For example, he lives. For the sir example, he gets, and for the is, he judges. So there are what we call voice consonants or sounds. It sounds like m, example comes, n, l, example travels, b, de, example depends, v, n, w, r. So all these are called voiced, and when you have s, you pronounce it z. You pronounce it z. And for some irregular verbs, also you can have the example goes for the verb to go, has for the verb for the auxiliary have, does for the auxiliary do. The other way also for the pronunciation is a s with what we call voiceless consonant or voiceless sounds, with p, t, example writes, k, for example bakes, f, example laughs, h, okay. So verbs that end in the sounds f, p, k or t have the s pronounced as s, example it's. And verbs that have verbs that end with sounds like b, d, g, l, m, n, n, r, v, y, a, e, I, o, u, the third person singular s is pronounced as z, example leaves. And verbs that end with s, double s, with sh, ch, ce, se, ge, or x have their third person singular pronounced as is, example touches. Now let's have an activity. How are these verbs pronounced? The verbs are read. When you add es, how do you pronounce it? Watch. How do you pronounce the es? Remember, how do you pronounce when we add s? Rise, when you add es, how do you pronounce it? Try, how do you pronounce the es? Wish, how do you pronounce it when you add es? Hope, how do you pronounce the s? Fix, when you add es, how do you pronounce it? Kiss, when you add es, how do you pronounce it? Expect, when you add s, how do you pronounce it? Drive, when you add s, how do you pronounce it? And work, how do you pronounce when you add the s? Okay, so please send your answers, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new, and also share the video if you like it. See you in the next video. So that was all for today's lesson. Thank you, take care, and see you in the next video, inshallah, if God will.